Hey guys, what's up? Yo, Kurama here. I'm here today to bring you guys a video that comes only once a year. It is gonna be a video on my top 10 best anime of 2012. Now, I did my top 10 best anime of 2011 last year, and I got a very good response from it, so I decided to do one again this year, and I know there are some people out there that have been waiting for this video, so here you go. But before I get on with it, I want to say that this is all my personal opinion. I did not watch every single anime out there that came out this year, so if I miss something that you love and that you think deserves to be on the list, and it's not on the list, then I'm sorry, I might have not seen it, or by my personal opinion, it wasn't worthy of being part of my list. But without any further ado, here we go. So number 10 might be a shock to you, but it is actually the series that got probably the most hype this year, and it is known as Sword Art Online. Now, I know that some of you are already freaking out, thinking to yourself, oh my goodness, yo Kurama, how can you put this series as only number 10? It should be number 1, or at least in the top 3. And I personally do not think so. This series was very average. The only thing above average I'd say is the animation and stuff like that, but when it comes to the story, I cannot give it a higher rating than an average score. It just wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be. Now, I'm a light novel reader, and I read the light novels before the anime started airing, and I was a big fan of the light novels, and I actually was one of the people that hyped up this anime a lot. But personally for me, it was a letdown, but it wasn't a horrible series. It was still an enjoyable series. It was fun seeing some of the stuff that was in the light novels being animated, but the pacing killed it for me. Them skipping so many things, and it just wasn't that good. But if you're like the two people that don't know what the series is about, it's pretty much about an MMORPG of the future where you put on this thing called a nerve gear, and you're pretty much put into the world, and you feel everything, you live there, and it's a cool MMO. It's a virtual reality. But one day, a new game called Sword Art Online was released, and everybody that was logged in could not log out, and the only way they could log out is somebody beating that game. But there's a little twist: if you die in the game, you die in real life. That's pretty much the brief synopsis of this series. So if you have not checked it out, it's still worth a watch. I still recommend it, but I'd say the only reason it made my top 10 was that I have such high regard for the light novels, and the animation was awesome. But apart from that, let's move on to number 9. Number 9 is Sakuraso no Pet na Kanajo, also known as the pet girl of Sakuraso. Now, you guys know that I love this series. I definitely think this is probably the funniest romantic comedy of the year, or even just like the funniest romance of the year, or the best romance of the year. It has some very, very lovable characters, very interesting characters, and one of my favorite things about this anime is the interaction between the characters. So a quick synopsis is that our main character was put into this dorm at his school called the Sakuraso, and there's rumors that it's full of weirdos, but in reality those weirdos are geniuses. But he's put into that dorm because he kept picking up stray cats, and in the regular school dorm they don't allow stray cats, and he just kept picking them up, and now he was moved there with those stray cats, and his goal is to leave Sakuraso, but he can't until he gives out these cats to other people so that he may be able to leave Sakuraso. But then there's this girl who is very, very weird that moves into Sakuraso, and pretty much she doesn't know any common sense, and she falls under his care, and he has to take care of her, and the very, very funny situations happen. It's just a hilarious romantic comedy, awesome romance, awesome characters. It's just an enjoyable series overall. The animation is beautiful, the art, the colors are just amazing. It's done by JC Staff, and JC Staff did an amazing job on this one, so definitely check it out. Number 8 is Accel World. Now, this is another series by Kawahara Reiki, who is the same creator as Sword Art Online. And actually, if you guys did not know, Accel World takes place quite a bit in the future of Sword Art Online, because they do reference the nerve gear in the series as a vintage electronical device. And personally, Accel World, when it comes to an anime adaptation, I think Accel World is superior in almost every way. It was true to the light novels, the pacing was done really well, the characters had better development and had more time to develop, and they weren't just out of nowhere, you know, here and then the next episode they're there. You know, it had amazing pacing, and from the adaptations of Kawahara Reiki's light novels, I think Accel World is a superior series. But pretty much the synopsis is that our main character is this chubby dude and he always gets picked on. And to escape all that, he always goes into the virtual reality world to play games and to just, you know, chill out, because that's where he feels the most safe. Then one day, this very popular girl in the school, who is the most popular girl in the school, invites him to have lunch with her, and then she tells him about this game called Accel World, where they collect points and they're able to pretty much stop time. And if you lose that game, you lose the ability to ever play that game again. So it's pretty interesting. There's some awesome fights. It has one of the most annoying villains, the most hated villain of all time. Pisses me off seeing his face, but it's awesome series. Easily could have another season because it only covered about a third of the light novel material. So I'm really hoping for another season of Accel World. But yeah, check it out, especially if you're a fan of Sword Art Online. Check out Accel World. Number 7 is going to have to be Kokoro Connect. Now, this is a series that a lot of people looked past by. I don't know why it wasn't that talked about. I think it should have been more talked about, because it was a series that out of nowhere, like around episode 5, completely mind raped me. I'm telling you, it was insane. Like the stuff that happened, I was not expecting it, because it's pretty much a series about like a Freaky Friday situation where a group of best friends keep switching bodies, but then out of nowhere, this crazy situation happens and you're at the edge of your seat. I'm not gonna spoil what happens, but some crazy stuff and very psychological. Has some annoying characters though, but overall it was a great series that more people should check out, especially if you like this psychological stuff. But definitely watch till like episode 5, because that's where it really picks up. Yeah, guys, number 6 is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now, some of you guys are sitting there, why is JoJo so low on your list? Well, I'm not the biggest fan of the anime adaptation. I prefer the manga, because the pacing is not that good. Okay, in some cases, it's good that it's going a little bit faster, but in most cases, they're kind of rushing it, and I don't understand why, because they have so much material to animate, because this series has been out for like decades, and they're finally giving it a proper anime, so I don't understand why they're rushing the anime adaptation. Like, I don't get it. They should just like drag it out. They could easily make like a couple hundred episodes out of this, even more, because there's like I think 1,000 chapters or so out of the manga. So I don't know what their plan is with that, but JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is still a great one. It's a shonen with very muscular guys that kind of look flamboyant, like females at times. They do these like epic poses. But yeah, it's an action series with some pretty crazy battles. It gets pretty gory, pretty insane. Not as gory as the manga, of course, but it has some pretty intense stuff. So if you're a fan of shonen and you haven't checked out JoJo, check it out, because it's a must watch. Number 5 is Btooom. You guys knew I was gonna put Btooom on my list, because ever since the first episode of Btooom came out, I then picked up the manga and read the whole thing, and I loved it, and then continued watching the anime, and the anime had such good pacing. I gotta say that, because it was actually a complaint with some people that why did the anime series catch up to the manga with only 12 episodes when there's like over 50 chapters out? Well, this series is about bombs, action, throwing these bombs, them exploding. So the manga definitely takes up more pages because they have to show all these actions, and that's why there's a lot more manga material, or it seems like there is, and it could be condensed a lot quicker in an anime because they just need to like move a few frames, and that's already like 3 pages of the manga. So that is why 50 or so chapters were put into 12 episodes, and the pacing works brilliantly. I know they have to move around some of the scenes, but I actually prefer the way they paced out the scenes in the anime compared to the manga, but I in the end prefer the manga because of course it's a pretty damn gory seinen series, so you want to see that uncensored. Of course it was censored a bit here and there in the anime because, you know, it's too gory. They're not gonna show it on TV. But if you guys do want to know what the series is about and you haven't checked it out, it's about a battle royale between a group of people that were sent to this island to play this game called Btooom, which you get a set of bombs and you have to throw these bombs and kill people with these bombs and collect these chips, and once you get 8 chips, you go safely off the island. So as these random people playing this game, killing each other, survival, it's awesome stuff. It's only 12 episodes. Check it out. It's amazing. I love it. Can't wait for more of the manga to come out so that they could release the 2nd season for this. Number 4, guys, is Daily Lives of High School Boys. Now, I almost put this series in my top 3, but then I kind of sat there and I looked at my list and I'm like, okay, I love this series a lot, but it cannot beat my number 3, which I will talk about a little bit later. But Daily Lives of High School Boys is honestly one of my favorite comedies of all time. The synopsis is pretty much the title of the series. It's just the daily lives of regular high school boys and them doing their regular daily routines and things that you would do in your life. Of course, they go crazy with some things, and one of my favorite things about the series is that it's over-exaggerated scenes. Like, they take something so regular, something that you would never see becoming an issue or becoming a scene, and then they turn that into a funny moment. They over-exaggerate everything to the max, and that's my favorite kind of comedy. Over-exaggerated comedy is my number 1 favorite type of comedy, at least in anime, and this series just does it brilliantly. I loved it since episode 1, and I was so sad that it ended. I wish that they're gonna do another season. They did release like 6 episodes of this like short special with like 2-minute long episodes, and I watched those as well, and I just can't get enough of it. And what's cool about this is that it got Sunrise and Square Enix producing it, so you get to see a lot of MMO references, Final Fantasy references, you get to see Gundam references and other stuff like that. So there's a lot of cool stuff in this series, and it's a series that's been looked past by probably the most out of any anime this year. So check it out. Watch Daily Lives of High School Boys if you love comedy, because this is one of the best. Now we're moving on to the top 3, guys. Oh man, this is gonna get crazy. Number 3, Magi. Yeah, you guys knew I was gonna put Magi on here. Now, Magi is a series that I've been craving for. All this year, I was sitting there and really hoping to find a series about adventure. And then Magi came along. It's an Arabian Nights series about genies, about going through dungeons, becoming kings, and oh man, it's just an adventure. It's a big adventure, and I love it. And it's full of some of the most interesting shonen characters that we have seen in ages. Alibaba and Morg are 2 of my favorite shonen characters now after starting to watch Magi. I will be diving into the manga because I hear the manga is even better. So man, it's some good stuff. And this is also very unique because I don't think I've ever seen any other anime with the whole Arabian Nights scene in it. Because I don't know why, but it's awesome though. They should really make more anime like this. And I'm glad that the production studio that is doing Magi is A1 Pictures because they're doing an amazing job with the animation. It seems like a bunch of the money they made off Sword Art Online they're putting into Magi, so good Sword Art Online is doing some good. Also, the soundtrack is awesome, and I just love Magi. It's just one of those series that has awesome action, but at the same time I just lay back and enjoy myself because it's an adventure. I love adventures. A big part of me watching anime is I want to go into their world while I'm watching it. But yeah, if you haven't checked out Magi, what are you doing? Go watch it. Now, my number 2 is Sakamichi no Apollon, also known as Kids on the Slope. Now, This series almost won the first spot on my list, but there was another series that barely topped it. And I know that some of you are already guessing what my number 1 is gonna be, but I'm not gonna say it yet. Gotta wait. But Sakamichi no Apollon, directed by Watanabe Shinichiro, who is the director of Cowboy Bebop, and the music is done by Yoko Kanno, that also did Cowboy Bebop and Wolf's Rain and many other classics. So before this anime came out and I saw that combination of people working on it, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be amazing. And the genre is not action. This is not your Cowboy Bebop or Samurai Champloo. No, it's not one of those. It's not one of those series. This is an anime that takes place in the 40s, and it's about jazz and blues. It's about these two high school students that are completely different. One of them is a geek, but he plays, some classical piano. And the other guy he's a badass. He just he goes up to the roof and sleeps there all day, and he's all into, jazz and blues. He plays drums and stuff. But they become friends, and they start playing and jamming together, and some of the moments, especially some of the music scenes, they have jam sessions in the anime that are 5-10 minutes. And I personally am a musician myself, and I love to jam, and I love that feeling of when you actually get into a jam and just nothing else matters. You don't notice anything. All you're doing is just listen to the music and you're jamming out. And this anime does a perfect job conveying that feeling even to people that aren't musicians, that have never been in a jam session before. It's just brilliant, amazing. The ending was a little bit rushed, but that's what you get. This anime was very short. It only had 12 episodes, but I still love that ending. That was a great ending to a wonderful series. Has a lot of drama, has some pretty interesting romance, and it's just a good series overall. So check it out. Even if you're not a fan of this romance, more slice of life, this is a slice of life at its best. So if you're not a fan of slice of life, check this out because it might change your mind. Or if you're a fan of music, check this out. You will not regret it. Now guys, my number 1. Drum roll please. Kuroko no Basket. You guys knew it was coming. I talked about this anime 100 times on my channel. Every time I do a live stream, it gets brought up at least 10 times. I've done a series review of this. I've done quite a bit of episode reviews of this. I've done some news videos on this on my other channel. The second season has been announced, by the way. It's awesome. I can't wait for it. Kuroko no Basket is my number 1. Now, it was a very hard choice for me because Sakamichi no Apollon and Kuroko no Basket, they were kind of like this. They were battling it out, but then Kuroko no Basket barely topped it. It's crazy because last year it was the same situation with Madoka Magica and Steins Gate for me, but Madoka Magica barely topped it. Kuroko no Basket, if you guys don't know what this is a sports anime about basketball. Now, I know some of you guys like sports. I'm turning this video off. I don't care about sports anime. Guys, slow down. You guys need to watch sports anime. If you've never checked out a sports anime, this is a perfect one to start with. You will love this. Sports animes, I gotta say, they're not just about sports. Of course, they do play basketball in this series a lot because that is kind of what the story is based around, but it has some awesome characters, great matches. If you like shonen, there's no fights, but the basketball matches that they have are amazing. And it's just amazing series over. It's hard for me to explain why this series is so good. And I've had conversations with people that aren't into these type of series, but they checked out Kuroko no Basket and they're sitting there I love Kuroko no Basket, but I don't know why I love it. I just don't know why. It's just good. I just love it. So check this anime out. It's my favorite. If you guys take my word for it, because I know that there's a lot of people that follow my recommendations, follow my reviews, and you guys take my word on anime series, and you have not checked out Kuroko no Basket, check it out. If my word means anything to you, check out Kuroko no Basket. I cannot stress enough for people to check it out. You guys can watch it all on Crunchyroll. The whole first season is on Crunchyroll. Get a membership or whatever. Watch it free with the ads. Check it out. Kuroko no Basket for the win. I'll be catching up to the manga pretty soon and maybe doing chapter reviews of that, so look forward to that if you are already fans out there, because I know I've gotten quite a bit of people into Kuroko no Basket already, so I got some Kuroko no Basket subs. So yeah guys, I think that's all I can do with recommending this series to you. But yeah guys, that is my top 10 best anime of 2012. Of course, again, I have to say, this is my opinion, of course. This is not some written fact, so don't get offended if one one of your favorite series did not make it higher on the list or was not even included at all. It's just my list. And if you guys are watching this video and there's series on this list that you have not checked out, I recommend you check them out because they're all awesome. They're all worth a watch, like easily worth a watch. So check them all out. You'll have a great time watching all of them. This list is diverse. It has all sorts of genres in it, from sports to shonen to shoujo to music to adventure to comedy. It has everything on here. So if you guys are looking for a diverse list, this is a perfect list for you. And of course, like last year, for every top best anime list, there is of course a top worst anime list. So look forward to that video pretty soon. Let me know in the comment section below what your guys' top 10 were. If you guys agree with my list, disagree with my list, anything like that, right in the comment section below. Make sure you like this video as well because that helps out a lot, guys. You have no idea. I appreciate it a lot. And thank you guys for watching this video. Subscribe if you like this video as well because I do a lot of videos like this, a lot of reviews, a lot of good stuff. So hopefully you guys can enjoy my future content as well. I'm Yokorama, and baby, I'm out. Peace.